Hi, friends. It's amazing. We're coming to the end of this course that we've been doing together, and time has slowed down and sped up at the same moment. Um, it was only 4 or 5 weeks ago that we started this together, and I don't know about you, but it feels like a world of life has taken place since then. A war in Eastern Europe, an altercation between two men on the stage at the Oscars, more of the COVID story, and those are just the first three large scale news events that come to mind. I know that some of us felt guilty and even a little bit of shame for how much energy we gave to the story of a man slapping another man on stage at the Oscars. And I want to challenge that. If that's you, if you felt a burden of guilt about with everything else that's going on in the world, two things. First of all, I believe in a love that cares even down to the hairs on my head. And so that love also cares about a man slapping another man on a stage and the impact that that has on the people watching. Many of us had our own trauma stirred up by that. Many of us felt angry. Many of us felt fear watching it. Some of us maybe felt a sense of responsibility for how we might have harmed other people in the past. It is possible to care about an event between two people at the same time as caring about the plight of the people of Ukraine, about the challenge of the people in Russia who are opposed to their government's invasion of Ukraine. It is possible to care about your own physical health and mental well-being at the same time as being concerned about the climate crisis. It is possible to be learning to own our own privilege and to bring what we have, serving from that place, while at the same time recognizing that just because we have privileges doesn't mean we don't have needs. Legitimate needs are welcome. Privilege, whether you believe you earned it or not, is the place from which you're invited to serve. The sun will shine, the rain will fall, as the scripture says, on the good and the bad. The line between good and evil, as Alexander Solzhenitsyn said, runs down the center of every human being, not between one human and another. The question that matters is, who and what are you serving today? And so wherever you've been, whatever you've come through on this journey over these last few weeks, I want to say to you, I think it's likely that your shadow is more in the area that you think too little of yourself rather than you think too much of yourself. I believe this is true of me too. There are certainly places where I can be arrogant and self-righteous, but I think more often than not, I think too little of me. I value myself less than other people do. I am so grateful to receive so much encouragement from so many people. I want to respect them enough to agree with that encouragement. I want to think of myself the way other people think of me at my best. It's okay for you to do the same for yourself. You weren't born just to suffer. You weren't born just to feel guilty for the things you have that you didn't earn. You were born to play a role in the ongoing evolution of the story of love. You have a place, unique, delightful, adventurous, challenging. It will involve learning, it will involve obstacles, it will involve gifts, and it will involve sitting quietly, watching the breeze tender the leaves. This is your birthright. Not money, not status, not position, but a role in the story of the ongoing evolution of love. This is what you're worthy of, as with everyone else. And no one can separate you from that love. So I find this prayer revealing itself to me, and I want to offer it as we enter into these last few days. The last week of this course is only 5 days long, because the 40 days of the course work out that way. But this is a prayer for these last few days, and my prayer is that it'll be life-giving and offer some shelter. When I use the word God here, by the way, to me, God is a word that cannot capture the reality of God. No word could. But my friend Michael Dowd says that for him, God is reality with a capital R and then some. And for me, it's love with a capital L. And so when I address God here, I'm doing so in the name and in the tradition of Jesus, which is the tradition that I come from. But you are welcome, whatever tradition you're from, and whatever the word God means to you. I invite you to substitute your own word as you hear this prayer. God, our Father and Mother, animator of our lives, inspirer of our hopes, and co-bearer of our suffering. It is sometimes hard to know where to begin when we are confronted with so much agony on the other side of the world, on the other side of the street, on the other side of the room, and even inside our own hearts. We want to be people who can celebrate the beauty of life, even while lamenting the wounds. We want to claim gratitude for the good gifts of community, bread for the journey, and a shared creative purpose to serve the common good. We want no one to be left out. We reject the notion that we somehow deserve our pain. While we might learn from it, we did not earn it. We choose to revel in wonder, even as we walk tenderly amidst the ashes of suffering. We need your help. We open ourselves to your love and ask that on this day we might experience some more light and the knowledge that while you will always walk with us through the bleakest of places, you have made us entirely worthy of everything good. Keep in touch, friends. I'll share more soon.